what even is a loser? So a loser is somebody who's lost a competition, like usually like in a race or when you're running, but like I think the real tea is who are you competing with, right? I think oftentimes in our daily lives we fall into like this trap of comparison, of like maybe going on Instagram and seeing somebody's like perfect feed or like somebody's dream job or like vacations they're taking, their clothes they're wearing, but it's like we really don't see what's going on behind them Instagram pictures, because sometimes them folks really do be struggling, like for somebody's beautiful feed, like they had to go take 5 buses to go to the place to take the picture. Or somebody's dream job, like they burnt out, they looking for another job, they crying every shift, like, you know what I mean? So, or if you see somebody's like beautiful vacation pictures, like you don't know what they're experiencing on that vacation, you don't know how they funding it, and even then it's like the person might be in debt, $30,000 in credit card debt, or like the person might not even be enjoying their vacation. Or like if you see like a perfect couple on Instagram, it's like, baby, they on their 5th breakup, you know? So I personally don't take things as I see them. I feel like oftentimes we like to romanticize the things we see online or the things that we see other people do, like their achievements, but we really don't see the struggle. I feel like people don't really like to share that, but I feel like that's what makes us human. And that's what really makes it easy to empathize and to really understand somebody's like upbringing and like, you know, they're coming up. I really appreciate seeing that. So overall with this, I'm trying to just say that comparison is always going to make you feel like you're behind in this quote unquote race, but I don't think like this race or like this competition with other people is necessary, because you're on your own unique timeline, right? And in order to figure out this unique timeline, I think self-discovery is something that is really important. I know that some people aren't naturally reflective, and that's why I feel like some of y'all really do need to take the effort to discover who you are, what your interests are, and what your values are, right? I think for me personally, I really like to do journaling. I'm going to insert some astrology. If you're not interested in astrology, that's totally fine, but I really recommend that you find some type of tool in order to better understand yourself, because this is very fundamental to really understanding your path in life, your timeline, and getting towards that. Whether you use religion, astrology, human design, whatever you do, just make sure that you have some type of method to figure that out. I personally use astrology, and I look at some of my placements like my midheaven. I also look at my moon sign, and those are in air signs. So I primarily enjoy like beauty and art and writing, and through those activities I feel like I can discover a lot about my values and discover what exactly I want in my life. So I really recommend that y'all sit down and figure out, you know, what is something I really enjoy doing in my younger years, what's something that I really want to do but haven't had the chance to try. I think that's a really good step into figuring out what activities you want to do. And once you start getting out of your comfort zone, or you know, getting back into did before, I think it's really easy to figure out what are your skills, what are your values, and ultimately it can lead you to doing the things that you want in your life. And additionally, with self-discovery, I feel like when you figure out more about yourself, it helps you to truly align yourself with your goals, your strengths, and additionally finding resources that can better push you towards your goals and push you towards your own unique timeline. For example, I am somebody that really likes beauty, and I also really enjoy content creation. So in turn, I know that I have to put myself out there on the internet in order to get these opportunities to become a more influential and bigger content creator in the spaces that I strive to be in. And similarly for y'all, depending on what your goal is, you have to do the same premise of putting yourself out there for the opportunities that you want, because I believe that a lot of the things that we want to do in life cannot be done by ourselves. It's always done in partnership within our communities and in connection to other people. So that is the final portion of self-discovery on figuring out your path. And lastly, just the path portion. I feel like a lot of times we think that our path is linear, but a lot of times it can be very, bumpy, and that is okay. I feel like oftentimes in our society we're told that, oh, you have to figure out what you want to do by this age, or you want to do this by this. But a lot of people that are successful don't go into their success in their early 20s. They're not successful until like 40s, 50s, 60s. I feel like with age comes a lot of wisdom and discipline, and I feel like to put a lot of pressure on yourself to be that version that you're going to grow into right now, like at 20, 30, I think that is way too hard on yourself. And I think we should be way more empathetic and kind to ourselves, especially in our 20s and 30s. We literally just got onto this earth, and for us to work ourselves like machines, like robots, is the installation of these values from capitalism, rather than really analyzing your own personal values. Who are you outside of the system that values unpaid labor, unappreciated labor? Who are you outside of work? Who are you outside of monetization? Those are really important questions that I feel like y'all should be able to answer, and I really hope that y'all are able to through the self-discovery, as I said. And lastly, I just want to remind you all that you are not losers. You are just on your own timeline, and comparing yourself to others is the thief of joy. So that's all, and thanks y'all for watching.